but why? Alright, so I have seen a fair amount of people starting to complain about the lack of team perks they are seeing in high difficulties. This one, though, is particularly pretty funny. This is a level 20 tactical with a stim, but they don't have any team perks. They have no team perks at all, and I'm definitely curious to see what difficulty this is, but level 20, just spend the credits to get your team perks. You can get credits so easy in this game. Holy cow. This is kind of funny, though. This is definitely kind of funny. But still, I just want to reiterate how important it is to have a team perk in higher difficulties. You can definitely lose out on a lot of extra damage or extra utility if you do not have a team perk. And this is a level 20 tactical. This team perk is no joke. This team perk definitely could have been pretty good. I honestly, with tactical, though, I have to admit, I am definitely enjoying the extra range damage team perk. I know it is very simple. It's not too much. It's definitely not going to win you the operation or anything. But I think, honestly, that 15% extra of damage really helps out some weapons become good to great, and then the great weapons go from great to very, very, very great, I guess. I'm not too sure how the metrics work on that. But ultimately, you definitely need a team perk. If you are jumping into lethal or absolute, please use a team perk. I have seen a fair amount of players who, as far as skill goes, they definitely know what they're doing, but they still just don't have a team perk, which I kind of find pretty hilarious. But still, have a team perk. It's very important. Depending on what class you are, it's definitely something that could change the game. Like Unmatched Zeal, I can't imagine. Like even seeing Vanguards without Unmatched Zeal, it's not annoying. You know, it is what it is. Most of the times, if you see a low-level Vanguard, they are likely using the melee damage team perk, which is pretty good, I guess, depending on what class you are. But still, Unmatched Zeal goes very, very hard in higher difficulties. That is the way, you know, you can deal with getting hit by Spore Mines, and then you just, you know, execute a zone throw up, and then boom, you're back where you are, which is nice. But yeah, definitely use team perks. I love how he just says, but why here? And yes, we're going to read some horror stories around, you know, players not picking the team perks, not being prepared. But yeah, overall, just because they don't have a team perk, you know, that doesn't mean they're bad. If they go down like 3 times and it's like lower difficulties and they still don't have a team perk but they're level 20 or whatever, then yeah, they might need to improve. But ultimately, definitely pick up your team perk before you jump into lethal or absolute, maybe even ruthless, depending on, you know, who you're playing with and all that. So, yeah, but why? Well, there's no reason why. I've seen some people mention they're going through Prestige without buying any perks. This is to save game currency, because it's so highly valuable and difficult to come by. Sorry, being sarcastic, it's probably that, though. Yeah, I mean, to save game currency, dude, honestly, you would think if you're spending any sort of game currency on any sort of perks, the team perks would be like the first ones, right? I've seen some people mention they are going through Prestige without buying any perks. Yeah, dude, honestly, the game currency is so easy to come by. You can get a lot of credits just by, you know, playing the game normally. You really don't have to worry about, you know, losing out on credits or anything. Or at least let me know in the comments if you ended up, for whatever reason, losing out, you know, basically spending too many credits and not having enough credits to level up your perks. That would be kind of weird. I have not been in that position, but I do admit some of these prestige levels I am kind of speeding through. Some of them, it really only takes me like 3 operations sometimes to get to like level 24 or something like that. I have noticed there's a lot of times where I land at like level 24 and I only need like 800 experience to the next prestige perk. That can be a little bit annoying. But still, I will say, I think having a team perk in higher difficulties is definitely required. But you know, you can definitely make it through without one. But still, come on. If you're jumping into lethal or absolute, you definitely want a team perk. You definitely want to make sure you are spending your credits on your team perks, because a victory is going to give you a lot of experience, and not to mention a victory is also going to pay you back the credits you spent for the team perk. This is wild. There are actual players who are refusing to pick team perks. That's crazy. I don't think it's the player being stingy on the points. I think they forgot to repurchase the perks. The game UI cursor movement is slow. This happened to me once. I realized it after a lethal level mission. It's best saber as hotkeys. Oh, well, that's interesting. Yeah, maybe hotkeys could be helpful, but I never really had like a cursor issue. Sometimes it does move a little bit slow though. I don't think it's the player being stingy on the points, it's they forgot. They forgot to pick up the team perk. I mean, yeah, that's possible. They are level 20. Like, I have to admit, like, if they were like level 3, level 6, level 11, maybe I'd be more inclined to believe that they didn't have the credits or didn't want to spend the credits. But yeah, them being level 20 is likely them forgetting the team perk, maybe. Yeah, let me know in the comments if you've actually ran into any of these situations where you've seen a player not run a team perk and they actually told you why, which I just can't imagine. I just can't imagine any good reason to not have a team perk. Yeah, players, listen, the team perk is very, very important when it comes to lethal or absolute. It is the difference between having heals and not having heals. It is the difference between, you know, making sure you get enemies into execute a couple bullets before they were, you know, normally gonna do it. Overall, just, you know, giving you an easier time. So yeah, definitely make sure you have your team perks. It will definitely help these operations go a bit smoothly. Some players just speedrunning lethal operations with no team perks, hoarding all the stims, ammo boxes, and armor boost, dying with gene seed, and disconnecting. Heretics, I say. That's funny. That's not as much as the hoarding part, but the literal picking up the gene seed and dying. Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that. And the disconnect. Yeah, I've seen that. But yeah, as far as actually the hoarding all the stims or whatever, I think people are actually really good with stim distribution right now, which is nice. Other theory, some players are buying heraldry, colors, emblems, and weapon upgrades because how they are not maxed out with money. Oh, because how aren't they maxed out with money? Yeah, honestly, yeah, I have so many credits. I really I kind of wish that they add something in the game that lets us, you know, spend credits in a way. Give us a casino or something. Give us that's probably lore breaking. That's probably very lore breaking to just have like some slot machine in the corner. I'm not even like, honestly, in-game casinos I don't really have an issue with. I don't gamble in real life. I just think that's very irresponsible, but it really depends on, you know, who you are and what you do with your money. Not my issue. But same goes for this game. Not really my issue what you do with your credits. If you want to spend your credits on emblems and weapon perks, that's fine, but still, when it comes to lethal and absolute, save some credits for a team perk. It is going to make a huge difference. I always have currency around 1900, and it is always maxed after mission. Easy for me to say with all the weapons maxed. Oh, that's true. If you don't have maxed weapons already, you are definitely spending some, you know, credits on weapon perks. I understand that. I kind of missed that point in the second sentence here. I think they could definitely be spending their credits on weapon perks. And all heraldry bought. So I understand not having some perks, but team perk is for the benefit of the whole team. Not to mention, consider this. Team perks are, yes, as they said, a perk for the whole team, but you got to consider that team perk does work for every player, so it's essentially an extra perk for your entire team. Not only does it work for your entire team, and it's something you want for your entire team, but you are essentially giving your teammates an extra perk, which is kind of nice to think about it that way, you know? In my opinion, you don't have to buy every perk when you're leveling up, but have at least one team perk if you are at least level 5. It's only 20 points. Yeah, 100% agree. Yeah, there are definitely some perks I'm skipping out on, but most of the perks that I'm skipping out on are like the ones deeper into the tree, where like I'm going from like level 20 to 25 or something, and then yeah, I'm just not using those perks. I'm going directly into the next prestige. And yes, I'm still prestige leveling. I think I just hit prestige 4 heavy. I'm at like prestige 3 tactical, prestige 3 bulwark. My bulwark is getting very close to prestige 4 though. I'm pretty much counting him at prestige 4. So I have like 2 classes that are at prestige 4. I have sniper and tactical are on their way. And then yes, I'll be playing a lot of assault and vanguard. Dude, there's a lot of gameplay this month, guys. There's going to be a lot of gameplay this month. We have to get ready for Horde mode, and I definitely feel like I'm a little bit behind. We were doing a lot of we were covering a lot of bugs. We were covering a lot of spore mines and balance. I'm going to continue doing that for this month, of course, because there's always something to talk about. It's actually kind of fun to kind of, have the conversations in the comments about like unique topics and stuff like that. So, but still, I have to get some grinding. I really hope I have time to stream. I know I keep mentioning streams and stuff. I don't keep mentioning it, but like here and there I'll mention it. But yeah, life is crazy, guys. Sometimes it's just really hard for me to find the time. I don't want to jump on a stream if it's not going to be, if it doesn't have my complete focus. You know what I mean? So. Ultimately, I'll definitely keep you guys posted. I mean, Horde mode is going to be a great opportunity for that. But yeah, there's just a lot going on right now. But still, I'm just busy. It's nothing bad. I'm just busy. Also, you get 300 currency from doing ordeals from every category. Check those exclamation marks. You get 300 currency from doing ordeals. Oh, that's true. That's actually a good point. The credits from the ordeals. Yes, that is very, very true. So yeah, maybe check your ordeals. You might have some extra credits just lying around. But this is interesting. This is definitely kind of interesting to see players are kind of skimping out on team perks where you really shouldn't. You really should not skimp out on team perks. Exactly. It's only 20 points. It's only 20 points, and it's a huge buff to your team. You're giving your teammates an extra perk. That's insane. And they're also giving you an extra perk. So, you definitely want those team perks for higher difficulties. Let me know in the comments if you've ran into any of these situations. I know we're seeing lower level players in Lethal and Absolute, but at least for me, a lot of the times they have team perks. But yes, you will see those players without team perks, level 20 or whatever, and just, ask yourself the question, why? Thanks for watching.